So Rihanna announced her pregnancy at the Met Gala. Let's have a look at her birth chart to see what is up. So some really good things to look at. I mean, first of all, the birth chart I'm looking at online is the one that's given with the birth time on a lot of astro websites. So they have her down as Aries rising. So we'll go with that for the sake of this video. But even if we don't know the rising sign correctly, there's so many things we can pick up anyway. For example, one thing that people seem to overlook sometimes when it comes to pregnancy transits, that's not to say that everyone who has a transit will be pregnant, but based off this chart, having Saturn transiting the Sun, for one, will give you pregnancy aspects because Saturn will give you your biggest lesson as well as a huge responsibility. And having a child is a responsibility. And so sometimes I see with clients' birth charts when they have Saturn transiting their pregnancy houses or their Sun or pivotal aspects in their chart, they will be given responsibility such as a child. Right. Not only that, if we're looking at the eclipse cycles, we have the eclipses going through the rising sign of Aries and Libra axis, as well as the eclipses going over the Sun axis too, because the eclipses right now, as I record this, are going over Pisces and Virgo. And so when we have eclipses, especially on the ascendant, especially on the Sun, the first and seventh house, eclipses in the fifth house and the 10th house as well, because these are to do with how your public persona and stuff as well, and changes to that, and eclipses bring huge changes. So that's another thing to note and to look at when looking at pregnancy transits with birth charts. And so Leo rules her fifth house, the pregnancy house, and the ruler of the fifth house in the 11th. So, very public. The 11th house is a very public house, as is the sun too. And again, linking that back to the eclipses, which is why everyone knows about it as such a crazy, crazy venue. The Met Gala is very, very, public. And the 11th house with the fifth house is all to do with fancy places, gorgeous restaurants, and being out and about in public. This is a great way to announce a pregnancy. Another thing to note, if we're looking at pregnancy, is that Jupiter is going through the third house for Rihanna. And so with that aspect, is making a sextile to her natal Jupiter. So with a sextile, this can bring blessings too.